Oh, what's up, guys? Nick here from the AB Garage. Back with another edition of the Average Biker Podcast. Before we get into today's episode, I just want to again say thank you guys for the downloads, the reviews, for checking out the YouTube channel. I've been posting videos on my Honda Shadow bobber build, and they have been doing better than expected. Still working my way up, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you're hearing this, go over and give me a subscribe on YouTube. And once I hit 1,000, then I can start going live. And I'd really like to do some live streaming, like out in the garage, every now and then. Just hang out with you guys and watch what I'm working on and bullshit with you while I'm out there. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for all that. The support has been really, really great, and it truly means a lot to me. So today's guest is a guy by the name of James Hawk. I met James in a Facebook group called Garage Built Cycles. If you're not familiar with that group, run on over to Facebook and check it out, because there's a lot of cool shit going on in there, from just small time guys working in their garage, and that's what James is doing. He posted a picture of a blue Ironhead Sportster with a upswept fishtail exhaust, and I commented on it and asked if he said something about having multiple bikes. So I creeped his page a little bit and saw that he had some really cool bikes. So I asked him if he would be a guest on the podcast, and he was more than happy to do that. And I really, really appreciate him doing that. He's also a tattoo artist. You guys need to go to Instagram and check out his tattoo page at Tattoos by Hawk. I'll link to his Instagram in the description. He also has a food truck by the name of Burly's, and you can find it on Facebook. I'll put the link in the show notes to this too. Overall, very, very cool guy. Glad I got to talk with him. Look forward to meeting him in person. So enough of the intro. Let's get to the podcast with James Hawk. Well, first off, I would just want to say thank you. Appreciate you for doing this, man.
Absolutely. I was taken back a little bit. I'm like, man, I usually get on these groups and I post stuff, and then like you never hear anything from anybody, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. How long you been a member there at Garage Cycles?
For a little while, not super long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's one of my favorite groups on Facebook. There's a lot of good stuff posted in there.
Yeah, I joined. The newest one I joined was this. What's it called? Custom painting for beginners.
Oh, really?
But then you get in there and everybody's like, oh, like there's like people doing like custom designs and everything. I'm like, well, where's the part for beginners?
It's not really made for beginners, huh?
Well, they say it is, and I got harassed so much about it. But then I did a rattle can paint job on that blue bike, and which was funny because they're like, one guy's like, I call BS, and I'm like, well, I don't know how to spray on a spray gun, so yeah, it's all rattle can, buddy.
Yeah, as long as you prep it right and wet sand it and take care of it and do the steps you're supposed to do, rattle can turn out really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna build my own spray booth this winter, I think, or this summer, and then have it ready for the winter. So
nice.
I didn't learn. I feel like if I learn, it makes it easier. Right.
So, all right, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am James. I like to build motorcycles. I'm from New York.
You're from New York?
Well, originally, yeah. I'm from down by the city. I live in upstate New York now.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We're at upstate New York.
Endicott, New York. It's up towards like
Mm,
about an hour and a half south of Albany, New York.
yeah. Yeah, it's like pretty flat and farmland up there, huh?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, we got like a little like there's 3 cities like within 5 minutes of each other. There's like Endicott, Johnson City, and Vestal, and then like Binghamton. So they're all like right close to each other.
Right. A lot of good riding out that way.
More PA. Like
Yeah.
if you look across the border in PA, I like curvy roads. I like mountains.
Oh, same. Yeah.
Looking at trees, not everybody wants to do all that stuff.
It's nothing but cows and cornfields here where I'm at. So
That's sweet. Yeah, we got a lot of throttle jockeys that go in front of my house. It's
yeah.
like seems like every time I have the bikes out in a row, that they like start throttle jockeying by.
Well, so you're pretty close to the Pennsylvania border then?
Yeah, I'm about like literally from one spot. I'm like maybe 20 minutes, if that.
Really? Yeah, I lived in Pennsylvania over by Pittsburgh for a year or so.
So did I.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, over in Clarksville, which is probably like 40 minutes south of Pittsburgh.
Because I was 45 minutes east in Blairsville. I went to Wyotech there.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it was a $40,000 party.
Oh, I bet. But I bet like learned some really cool stuff.
I did, but I didn't, apply it. I came back and got a job that I could have had out of high school, so
Yeah.
that's whatever. How old are you?
I'm 42.
42.
Yeah.
Damn. How long have you been building bikes?
Let's see. My first one started in like 06.
Really?
Yeah, I built a Pro Street. We custom made a 300 single-sided swing arm. I actually found a old school Borgette Fat Daddy in a barn, and I used the whole drivetrain, and then I actually sold the roller, so making something different. But sold that. I've had I had a Hayabusa that we did a 300 stretch swing arm on, and then I got into Harleys.
I was going to say, it sounds like you like going fast, or at least you did.
I did. Now I'm like old and want to. I know it sounds crazy when I say like I'm old, but I literally like me and my girlfriend are getting a for Father's Day. I'm getting a road glide.
Oh, nice.
So, and she's like, "Well, what kind do you want?" I'm like, "I want a limited." She goes, "With the touring pack, like for old people." I'm like, "Yeah." And I was like, "We could load everything up on there, pack away for like a weekend getaway or a week, and just go."
I got a I got a 2018 Ultra Limited. Me and my girlfriend took a trip back in 2020 on that, 2 weeks down in the Smokies. It was great.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Like she's a big help with me doing different things. Like she helped me with my blue bike because I was working on something else. So she took out the oil tank, and I was doing something else at the same time. It's crazy.
So she comes out in the garage and helps you out with that stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Lucky, dude. Put a ring on that one.
She's really awesome. We've gone to I went to this place, or you ever heard of Chopper Time? It's like pretty famous in Daytona. It's it's at Willie's Tattoo. It's during Bike Week in March, and it's during Biketoberfest. And I'm talking like you go in there and you're looking at like choppers. We're not talking like a bagger, we're talking choppers. Like the baggers park outside, which is great. I mean, it's like choppers. Like when they get done and you move, there's a ton of oil and everything laid up. That's how you know you're at a chopper show.
Yeah.
But I'm actually I'm dealing with a guy right now because I'm building a custom shovel head. I actually had a bad dealing with a guy out of Rochester that builds custom bikes, and dude took me for like 13 grand. or 11 grand, and it's costing me 3,400 to fix it. It's just a nightmare. But I found this dude that builds custom rigid front ends, and I'm talking like long stuff. Like he built a custom 24-inch front end rigid for this build that I'm doing, and he's out of Buffalo. His name's Angelo. It's Maltese Machine Company. He's a fabricator, and then he started doing like frames and stuff. And he's like, like bikes are like maybe 30% of my business, but the stuff this guy puts out and the welds that this guy does is absolutely amazing. This guy's down to earth. He built this sporty, but did like the panhead conversion on it for Bike Week, like not this past year, the year before, and rode it from Buffalo all the way to Daytona. Like he broke down and rebuilt part of it, and then like kept going, and he won Best Sportster down there. It was so awesome. It was so I met him down there through this guy from Rochester, and we talked. And then when all this stuff with Rochester happened, this guy's like, "Oh, I got you, dude." He's like, dude blocked me on Facebook, Instagram, you name it, and he literally blocked the guy that built the front end for it, Angelo, which is crazy. But that's coming soon. Like I'll post. I'm not gonna post any pictures till I pick it up, but we're doing a custom one-off frame to accept the 24-inch over rigid front end. But we're doing an 81 shovel with a rotary top tranny, so it'd be nice.
Damn. So that's going to be a rigid front end, you said?
Yeah, rigid front end and rigid frame.
Oh shit! You gotta have springs on the seat at least.
No, I'm gonna go with like an old school king queen seat. Put on there and make it look cool. I mean, it's not something I'm gonna ride like long distance, but
well, yeah, I'd hope not. Holy shit!
I have like my iron head that has a long girder, and that thing's rigid, but I don't know why, but it's actually quite comfortable.
Really?
Yeah, I get all the stuff that I can't find like old school stuff. I kind of use like Lowbrow or TC Brothers. It depends on what day they like, because for some reason they decide every night to send me a message about
Lowbrow does.
Yeah, about a sale going on, and I'm like, crap, I just bought that, or so. But I've got a 58 pan that's coming up for a build after this shovel. So
yeah, those lowbrow text messages, they get me in a lot of trouble too. I get that shit all the time, and it's like, ooh, I could use that, I could use that, I could use that, and
oh yeah, like it's crazy. The best part is like I like the shipping. Apparently, I buy it there so much that they sent me a Christmas present. They sent me a glass and like a keychain. It's like
shit.
Lowbrow. I was like, boy, that's awesome. I had to call them and thank them because I'm like, that's pretty neat. So, but I'm getting ready to. I got my shovel done, my Evo done, which is the copper one. I just got this blue one done. Running. I just got to run the fuel lines because I'm only using a gravity tank right now to the side just for making sure it was running. Installed the kickstand last night, but this wildfire it's really rough right now to be outside.
Oh yeah, you guys getting that bad up there?
Oh my gosh, like the sky was yellow today.
Really?
It's hard to breathe. We had to bring our dogs inside because they're this stuff's crazy.
See, I didn't even know that was going on. I saw something on Facebook about it tonight, and I was like, oh, I just thought it was really hot and humid here.
Oh my god, they were like, there's people reporting fires. Legit, they're like reporting. So you see all these fire trucks going, thinking there's a fire, and they're like, the fire company is calling these people saying, no, it's from Canada. Which is it's crazy. Like it's bad.
So damn. Well, all right. So when did you start riding?
I started riding with my dad. So my dad was a biker in the 80s. He was part of a motorcycle club out of like Walk Hill, New York. So he used to put me on his gas tank and we'd ride around. So it's kind of the Iron Head that I'm doing now is kind of like a tribute to him. But and then I had like four wheelers and I rode a buddy's enduro. So I've been riding like on the road legally since I was 16, I guess. Well, illegally, but it's fun. I love it.
What was your first bike?
My first road bike.
Yeah.
You're gonna laugh. You ready?
Yep.
An '83 Yamaha Venture Royale.
Aren't those like gold wings?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It had like an air ride. It had like a radio, killer storage. It was so comfortable though.
Oh yeah.
I rode that thing everywhere, man. I mean, that thing was amazing. I got caught in the rain with it, but it was just so much fun, you know. And then after that, I actually got my Father's Day gift from my son was a 2013 CVO Road King. So when they came out with that blue one, that was pretty awesome. It was like blue and black, had chrome everywhere. I got it from Harley down in Mansfield, PA. I had them put apes on it because I can't really ride with like the kind of like the beach bars.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt uncomfortable. I literally rode it the second time after getting it, and a car came in front of me, and I stopped. And so on those Road Kings, those passenger pegs are so close, and I literally my calf caught the passenger peg, but my bars gave out. I didn't fall anywhere, but I like literally rode it to my job and called Harley and told them to come get it. And they actually sent me a Street Glide. And then I didn't want to ride at all, so I got a 2014 Street Glide. And there's a guy at a Sayre, PA that used to do bikes. He doesn't do them anymore. Dublers. He helped me. We came up with this crazy idea. And he's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, let's make a sleeper. And he's like, okay. So we did a monster bore kit, stainless steel Vance & Hines exhaust, Super Tuner Pro. This thing was nasty. It was putting out more horsepower than the 107 when it first came out. And we did some cams. The thing was super fast. I love that thing.
You still got it?
No, nope. I have. So right now, my best bike that I have, in all honesty, is I call it Jolene. It's an 05 Softail Deluxe with a 96 kit. It's choloed out. I went to Bike Week a year ago, and I had the seats double diamond stitch, the backrest to match. They were so cool. Like the guys, they did the tank protector for me, and made it match my seats. I did new wheels, new tires. I put stretch bags on. It was really cool, and the thing is so fast, so comfortable. It's like my everyday bike.
Yeah, when we were talking earlier, I think you said you had 7 bikes now?
Yeah. So I have the 05 Deluxe. I have the 76 shovel that I just finished.
That's the blue one? No, that's not the blue one. The blue one's a sporty, isn't it?
Yeah, so the one with the dish tank, the Indian Larry style tank.
Okay.
That one is my 76 shovel. I have that custom Evo that I did, the copper bike.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that one. I saw that one.
That one's insane. Then I have the blue Iron Head. Then I have another Iron Head. They're both 74 right side shifts. So the other Iron Head I haven't posted any pictures of, but it's like super long. I've got like I took a set of rabbit bars and like cut them, and then like took like I think it was like 3 inches out of the center and welded it back together, so I could have like that really close, skinny chopper look. And then that will be foot clutch with a hand shift. Then I have my blue iron head, which is a 74 right side shift. But what I did with that is I actually made a hand shifter for it. So because it's so awkward to shift right, and I figured if I could just shift with my hand, it'd be easier. I wouldn't have to worry about the footwork. But I was able to salvage the old school twisted metal, like twisted square stock pegs. We just cut them to length and like hard welded them to the frame. It actually came out really nice. And then I have the 58 pan, which I bought as a complete gentleman. I was like 5.5 hours away, the other side of New York. I had to go get it, and he had it. It was his first bike he got. He bought it for $3,500. It was chained to a tree when he bought it, and he took it apart to paint it and had a massive stroke, and then sold everything. So I scooped that up, and then I've got this 81 shovel that I'm getting ready to do.
Is that the black one?
Yeah, black shovel head motor.
So yeah, I saw you had posted pictures of that. That thing looks sweet too.
Yeah, the copper bike is insane. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I was scrolling through your Instagram, and I saw that one, and I stopped, and I was like, oh, it was a video of you walking around it. You didn't have it running. You need to post a video of that thing running. I want to hear it.
Oh my god, it's so ridiculously loud. It's not funny.
Yeah. So what's the motor on that one?
It's got a 96 on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. I bought that in Florida the same time I bought the shovel. I went down with like my deluxe, and I came back with like 5 bikes. Like me and my buddy went on vacation in December. He bought a Fat Bob, and he brought his bike down. We found a Fat Bob at a pawn shop for $3,000. We're like, well, we're taking that back with us. And then I found that copper bike through. There's a really cool lady in Daytona. Her name's Bridget. She owns a custom motorcycle shop place. She hooked me up with that area, and I met this guy, and he's like, "Oh, well, I really want 5,500." I'm like, "I'll give you like 45," because it was all pitted. But he wouldn't budge from 55. He's like, "Oh, it's only got 383 miles on it," and he just had it all done. But just the ocean does so much. The salt does so much down there. So I brought it up here. I was like, you know what? Let's build it. Me and my buddy, and we went through, and I was like, well, I have an idea. Let's powder coat everything copper. So I had to find like a local guy that did the copper painting or powder coating, which I will never use. I think I had a bad experience with like finding the right people to do things, and so we started doing everything. We would tell him like, listen, don't do the gasket surfaces, just do the outside. And he's like, yeah. Well, unfortunately, he did like everything, so it was a lot of like doing everything and gaskets, and then new gaskets, and then having to put gasket seal around it just to reinforce everything. I had some kind of like beach bars on there, which looked kind of cool, or like T-bars, but like a little angle. But I just felt like it just wasn't right. I had to put a new seat on it because as I'm literally shifting, my butt is going to the fender. It pushes like a 10-speed, like a bicycle at Walmart. Mm-hmm. Like literally push it like that, no problem. But it's super fast, and it's got no front brakes. Who needs front brakes? So.
I don't know. I kind of like stopping. So.
I just downshift a lot, you know. Just downshift and enjoy it. But It's super loud. I'll do a video and I'll have to send it to you. But that thing is like, when we were working on it, like wrapping exhaust. I hate doing it because unless I have to like start wearing gloves, but I get the fiberglass all in my hands, and it just seemed like we could never get it super tight enough.
Well, yeah, and then you get moisture in there behind it, and it rots your exhaust pipes and shit. And
Yeah,
then
well, I sprayed them with the engine high temp flat black paint.
yep.
Because I was like, oh, we're gonna Cerakote. I'm like, nah, nope. And then you know how it is, like when you take something apart and you put it back together after you've like moved everything. So the exhaust put together, but in the center there's supposed to be a bolt, and it's not there actually, because I literally can't get it in there, and the exhaust won't move at all. So I'm like, ugh. But that thing is loud. I put it up for sale.
When did you put it up for sale?
Because I think it's the only one in my collection that I'm okay with letting go.
Yeah, when did you put it up for sale?
Earlier or last week, maybe.
Last week.
Yeah, I put it up.
Nobody's bitten on it yet.
The problem is in this area, it's a lot of tire kickers.
Oh, gotcha.
So what we're doing now is like, there's some guy that wants to come look at it, but I had a buddy that was supposed to come look at it, but he's like, oh, I forgot about it. I went on a ride. I'm like, all right, well, it's still here if you want it, but it's one of those things like, if I sell it, I sell it. If I don't, I don't. You know.
Right.
I'm going to Buffalo with it June 17th to when I pick up that frame from Angelo. I'll be I'm gonna bring the copper bike, my blue bike, and then my shovel because he's having a little chopper like customer appreciation little show and everything. And I'm like, well, geez, these guys. I mean, these guys bring front ends that make your mind boggle on how long they are. I think one right at the just below the neck is as tall as my girlfriend. She's
Really?
like 5 foot.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's insane, man. The bikes they build, or you'll have to look them on Instagram. Maltese Machine Company.
Maltese. Yeah, we'll write that down.
Yeah,
You say it's pretty much just a machine shop?
well, he's a fabricator, but he also builds bikes.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean he does some insane stuff. I can't.
So, with you taking all those bikes up there, you're not riding them. You're just trailering them then.
Yeah, I'm gonna trailer them just so I can show them off.
Well,
You know, and then I'll pick up my other one and bring it back. So
you do any? Go ahead, bud.
we got a 24-foot trailer that we're gonna like haul out after we do pick this bike up, and we're gonna make it into like our Daytona trailer. So we'll add like lights. I just got a bigger air compressor, so I'll put my little 33-gallon in there, like a generator, and that way we can have it for, for crashing down the road somewhere, as we can, park and have a little mini camper / trailer
/ shop. It sounds like.
Yeah. I don't want to travel and like have an issue with a flat tire, and then having to manually do it. I mean, I don't mind it, but when you have a jack and you have air, and makes everything faster. So.
Oh yeah. So what all when you build these bikes, what work do you do yourself? Do you do any of the welding or the machining or anything like that?
So I'm not a welder. So I have like buddies come over and like help me weld and stuff. But like I've like done all like the mechanical stuff. We've done like hunting down parts. I just finished the wiring on the iron head. I'm not a wirer, but great.
I saw where you posted that you were doing the wiring on. Or no, you told me yesterday you were doing the wiring on that, and I said, "Oh, you poor bastard! Fuck wiring."
Yeah. So we did. So I had a buddy that helped me. He likes electrical stuff, but we literally did the wiring, and then he's like, he's like, we should redo it. I'm like, okay. And so I ordered the wire by the foot from Lowbrow, like the covered wire. to like kind of hide everything and make it look cleaner. And then as I'm taking the battery out, I'm gonna cut all these wires. So now I'm gonna fix everything, and I'm like trying to get him over here to help with the wiring, and he's just so busy. So I was like, I told my girlfriend, like, wanna go to Harbor Freight? She's like, what for? I'm like, soldering kit. Some fittings. She's like, sure, I'll go. So we go, we get this little kit, and I'm out there and I'm soldering and heat shrinking, and of course I'm trying to figure out, we get it all done, and then, all right, let's see if we get started up. And I'm like, I'm getting no power to this switch. So now I go back, because it's kickstart and electric start. So I literally hook up to it. I'm trying to figure out where this is, and like, I still get nothing. She's like, huh. I'm like, let me take all this off. Not like I had the negative for the push start on the, or the positive on the push start and the negative. So I just put it on there, and then I'm like, all right, let's add a little fuel to it. Let's see what happens. And it was like Christmas when I started up. But yeah, it's different, you know. I've had to do like bearings, like this. Luckily, like put everything back together. You know, pretty much build the motor after we like tore everything apart. With this shovel head, this is going to be kind of intense because I've never done like something that well, I mean, with like a kick. You know, I haven't had to take anything apart with the kickstarts yet. So this rotary top will be fun because it's kickstart. Well, it wasn't kickstart, but we're adding a kickstart to it. So I'm actually taking it to the shop, and the guy's going to sit down with me and like go with it with me step through step to add it. So
Make sure you don't screw anything up.
yeah. We did. And like welded the like all the bungs for like the gas tank to kind of hide everything, like hide all the bolts and stuff. Rebuilding carbs.
So you're more of like a engine guy, mechanical guy.
I really like designing them.
Yeah.
You know? Like if I could like, so the pan head I have has like an old 70s style grasshopper front end, which has like the springs are down by the axle, which is really cool. So I'll have to go through and like redo everything and like just clean everything up. But I build stuff to ride. I don't build show bikes, so I can't just buy everything with like chrome or like have it chrome, because my biggest fear is I'll spend all this money on chrome and then I'll hit some rock and it'll chip it. It'll piss me off so bad, you know. But I mean, the painting, I've never painted before. The blue bike is the first bike I've painted, so I'm kind of super stoked about that and how it came out. I've got to still like, I got to engrave the brass handle for the shifter, and
You gonna do that yourself?
oh yeah. So
You engraved before?
with my dad on like plexiglass and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun, but I got to put a number on there, and then my girlfriend's gonna get the Cricut out, and we're gonna make our own name for the bike. It's like my dad's road name, so we'll put that on the tank.
Nice. If you're a fan of Harbor Freight, you ever thought about just getting some cheap Harbor Freight spray guns and practicing with those?
So a long time ago, I got like a Tractor Supply set on clearance for like $17. But I need to learn. It's a pain in the butt. Like, but it's like I had a buddy do it, and then literally the paint started falling off. That's how I got into rattle canning the blue bike.
The paint started falling off.
Yeah, like it literally like chipped off. I think it was just because it was rushed.
So like
we like, I set like a ridiculous time frame, and he was like, I'll do it, and then we had issues, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna redo the tins. He's like, oh, you're really gonna redo them? I'm like, yeah. I go, I'm just gonna rattle can them for now, and then we can address the paint in the winter, because I really like old school Metal Flake. Like I like heavy flake.
Like bass boat shit.
Yeah, like the shovel head is my one favorite, which is pretty heavy, sprayed over black, so it just pops. And in the sun, it's even more insane. But this is just rolling metallic out of a can, and you get my buddy that does flake. He's like, when you do your last coat, get a wet coat on there, and then pull it back about 16 inches, and just mist it, and all that flake will kind of disperse itself, and it'll look better. So I've learned a lot of tricks from like asking or like YouTube.
Oh yeah, YouTube's great.
Yeah, and then my buddy Matt, he's like, he does a lot of the welding, and then I'll do like the cleanup work. So, but it's fun, and I like it. I enjoy it. I don't get I haven't. The only thing is, I really want to do like these chopper shows, and that's the hard part because there was one this past Sunday in Berwick, PA. My buddy was like the MC for, and he's like, "Are you gonna come down?" I'm like, "I'm literally in the garage working on my blue bike," and I'm like, "I could bring it, but it won't be running, you know." And I can't. I feel like that would just be unjust, you know, to bring something and then like run, you know, because everybody's like, "Oh, let's hear it," you know, what's it sound like, you know. But I've been trying to stay to like the era that I'm looking into, like. Uh, so if I'm working on a '70s bike, I listen to the '70s music before I do anything, and just kind of listen just to get a vibe for everything, you know?
Kind of set the mood, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Like no one wants to listen to like Rick Ross while you're doing a. No, nothing against Rick Ross. I mean, I like Rick Ross, but I just feel like it's great, you know? Like when I cook, I listen to Frank Sinatra.
Hmm.
It's just relaxing.
Gotcha. So have you looked into like what is it? Fuel Cleveland?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. You
So
submitted any of your bikes?
I haven't looked into it. I've seen it, like I've seen the posts on it. I was actually supposed to go to Glory Days, which is in Pittsburgh, on September 23rd. So the bike I had was having built by a guy in Rochester. He had it for a year, and we called it Long Dong because it literally had this 24 over rigid front end. So like the whole time he's telling me that this bike's gonna be ready, and he keeps missing the deadlines. This is how this whole Angelo thing happened. So we're missing all these deadlines. I'm like, oh, jeez. I'm like, my girlfriend's like, something's not right. And I'm like, no, it's all right. So finally, I just show up one day because this guy is ignoring my phone calls. Now, mind you, I have 11,000 into this bike, and then I drive up there, and I'm like, he's like, oh, I'm not even home. He's like, what the hell, dude? I've already passed his house. His truck is there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, all right, whatever. The bike is in a storage unit. Like he had set up for a little shop. It was decent. The bike looked decent until I sat on it, and it fits my 11-year-old kid. So I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Nothing was tight. Like he's like, "Oh, this bike." I was like, "I was gonna finish it up and bring it." Okay, mind you, primary chain, primary, everything's off. Like it's empty. It's just the back plate and the cover. There's nothing's wired. Nothing's no cables, no brakes, no forward controls are on, nothing. Like this bike is still in mock-up mode. The frame was so bad welded, it was not funny. It looked like someone just took a frame and like put pieces together and took like JB Weld with their hands and like put it together. So I had a buddy that powder coats. He sandblasted it. I took pictures and I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god, dude. I was like, I messaged and I'm thinking, okay, well maybe I could fix this frame. The frame was cut too short and the hardtail moved forward. This bike was not built for me. This
Ooh.
this was not built for me. And I was like, wow, this is ridiculous. So I got to Angelo and I'm like, hey man, what's up? Can you what do you think about this? He's like, well, let me see what I can find out. So he tried messaging the guy, and the guy blocked him. So me and my girlfriend took everything we had, went up there, and I was like, he saw it, and he's like, wow. He's like, I could do this frame and clean up the front end and make it all right, and I'll make a new set of handlebars because the bars were off, the sissy bar was off. He's like, I'll mount your fender for you. He's like, I'll make you pretty much a roller, minus the oil tank. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, gave me a price. I was like, done. And then I went and had surgery in May, so I've been just relaxing. But I'm excited. It's gonna be one for the record books, I think. But there's nothing around here like it. It's gonna be a custom one-off frame. So.
Well, that black bike, who built the frame for that?
The copper bike?
Yeah.
That is actually the same frame it was on. Yep. That frame was on. We went and had that sandblasted and powder coated. That whole bike is powder coated, right down to the gas tank. That thing is insane. Um, we did switch out like gas caps and stuff. I tried to find a copper gas cap, like make a copper with the copper powder coat, but it just didn't take well. So I actually used a newer Sportster, like press and twist cap in there. But that thing is all powder coat, and I learned my lessons like when we made the fixed the strut for it for the fender. It was when you take everything apart and then like you try to put it back together and you're not paying attention, but you're trying to rush. So there was like a spot on the fender where like the powder coat heated up a little bit from the tire hitting when I expanded, and I'm like, it's weird. Come to find out, it was just wrong. So when I first learned too that Evo push rods are color coded.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're color coded, which is a nightmare.
I'm not a motor guy. Like I can change the oil and shit, but all that stuff that's way beyond my ability.
Dude, YouTube, like some of these old school biker YouTubes are like amazing. Like I have on the Ironhead, it has a clutch assembly, but in that clutch assembly, it's just a little screw and like a nut, and you gotta like go in there and like touch it just to where it touches, and then back it off 3/4 of a turn, and then tighten the nut without turning the bolt, and that's your clutch adjustment, which is crazy. So I mean, just learning stuff on YouTube and a lot of these groups, are cool. Especially like if you're getting into building something. I think the old school like chopper groups are great because there's guys that sell everything. Like the upsweep exhaust for my Ironhead, the blue one, fishtails, I paid $70 shipped.
70 shipped?
$70 shipped. And I thought like this can't be true. I sent it through Venmo, but used buyer protection, and they came. There was like a dent towards the top, but I literally went and bought an exhaust kit, heated up the exhaust, and like expanded it inside to fix it. But then I had to like dent it in another spot to go around my generator, and I was like, man, this is crazy. And then I took a bunch of Brasso, and there's this aluminum polish. It's a chemical based. Some old dude from down by Pittsburgh that does rims for shows and stuff showed it to me. It's called Bush's aluminum polish. You get it online for like $20. You can actually buy it on Amazon. And I literally coated everything, and I used 4,000 steel wool. And I went and like just hand went through everything with the Brasso, and then I used that Bush's, and then I polished it, and it's like amazing.
How much? Go ahead. How much time you got in polishing that shit?
A lot. It's like my deluxe is all chrome, and like my girlfriend's like, "Well, what do you want to do?" Like, "We get a Road Glide. It's gonna be black. It's gonna have black on the motor, black exhaust. I just want to ride." But I like stuff. I like the older chrome. There's guys out there now that you see that engrave the whole motor, like the rockers. And,
Oh yeah, that's insane. I've seen
yeah,
seen that stuff.
there's a guy in the garage built cycles. His name is Tommy Joslin, I think. He did a shovel. He actually won best shovel at Willie's Tropical. I think he's in this group. I'm not sure, but
Was he the one that did the? I just saw a video the other day of some dude doing like scales, but hand engraving with like a center punch and a hammer. I tried getting him on here to talk to me, but I can't remember his name now.
yeah. No, I don't know. He did that. He did like a pink or something, but it was like so much chrome, and he took it everywhere, and he won like a bunch of like competitions down there. Puts a lot of me. I'm more like riding, like I'd like to ride it. So if I can't ride it, there's no sense in playing with it or building it. So
Right. Yeah, I like to take mine on trips. Well, that's what I got the Ultra for. The Shadow I'm building, that's not gonna be it. That thing won't even go 70 miles an hour with me on it. So that's.
I love bobbers.
Oh yeah.
That was like that shovel when I bought it. It had like this really crappy brown and blue paint, and it had for some reason it had uh, no oil filter. So I had to like weld a tab and like do an oil filter relocation kit, and it's an Amen Savior frame, which is from the 70s.
I was gonna say those are old as shit, aren't they?
Yeah, and it doesn't have the chrome springs because the guy, whoever had it before, uh, painted them black. So it's got a lot of the spike caps for all the bolts and stuff. But I've got a kicker for it. But I bought this exhaust at a Harrisburg swap meet that doesn't fit it. So I'm like, great. So now I gotta like eventually cut the exhaust and like add a little bit to it to move it, just so I can add this kicker to it. Because I really want a kicker on it. I just
You
think
can't. You can't just like notch the exhaust to fit it in.
I think it's just a little bit of clearance issue. I think was the reason. I can't remember, but I got it. I read up on it. It doesn't have a traditional shovel head tranny, so, but it'll be it's got a 5-speed. I like the old stuff. It's just hard to get. Like you're looking at a rebuilt ratchet top transmission. Like there's one on a marketplace for like $2,000. Stuff's insane.
Well, that's yeah. I have a shovel head, but I'm gonna restore it. Um, yeah, I've been looking for another shovel head to chop, and just a motor's like 3-4 grand in my area. And then you can buy a clapped out bike for like 5. It's
Yeah.
like, well, shit, I might as well just buy the whole bike and sell what I'm not gonna use. And
Well, there's a guy I think on Facebook Marketplace. I'll have to send you the link. He's got a shovel head motor. And it's in a frame with a tranny, but no paperwork for like $1,500.
hmm,
Yeah, it's like you gotta find them, but there's a lot of people are like, oh, no paperwork. I'm like, that don't bother me. I was like, I don't want paperwork, but it's just like this frame Angelo's doing for me. We had to cut the VIN out of that so I can have it. I'm actually gonna turn it into a keychain for that bike. So when they go like, oh, where's your VIN? And I'm like, it's right here, my keychain. So it's just too funny.
I wonder if like the Vermont loophole would work for something like that.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I've never.
You can use the. You want one just to chop and build?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, you can find there's some with like there's a lot of shovel heads out there with like with just frame titles and stuff. But then you got to find the motor and training, and there's just it's a pain in the butt. Like I have this shovel head's in like a bunch of pieces, and I'm not even looking forward to opening it apart or taking it apart or anything. But I can't trust the guy that built it. You know, I mean, if you're gonna give me a primary that has nothing in it, and be like, oh, I was gonna have this ready for tomorrow. The hell you were? Like, there's no way. Like, I mean, you're optimistic. I mean, the design is great. It's just not there. So like when I get it back, I've got to do like I got to figure out weld tabs on for like the oil tank. I got to do the headlight the way I want it. You know, I just feel like it was just way done. You know, crazy. But my other 74 Ironhead, we did a custom seat pan for that. We made that. I actually had to stretch it and everything because the way I wanted it. We made the sissy bar. I got to finish welding up the fender. So trying to be neat with different things. You know, make it really cool and rideable. I mean, there's one on a group. I can't remember where it was. The exhaust comes up, and on the top of the fender, it kind of like the brackets like hold it, and it's like off the. It was so cool looking.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I think I saw something like that. What you're talking about. It might not have been the same bike, but yeah, the exhaust came up and it was like mounted on the fender.
Yeah, it's just so what they're doing. You know, I mean, guys doing like upsleep exhausts with like that are like probably 4 feet in the air. You know,
Yeah.
I like the old school bikes definitely.
Yeah.
You know, everybody could have a Me Too bike. You know, a street glide or a road glide. You know, I call them Me Too bikes because you go everywhere. I went to Americade last year, and like that's all it was. It was like street glides and road glides, and there was literally this one dude that had this old '70s Honda chopper that was amazing.
Like an old CB 750 or whatever.
Yeah, it had the coffin tank.
Oh shit!
It was amazing. But yeah, there's.
I think I lost you. Cutting in and out.
Oh, how's that? Am I
There
better
you
now?
go.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a bunch of fuzz
Might have been on my end.
feedback.
So yeah, you don't like the baggers with the 30-inch front wheels and the sweat bags?
They just seem impractical.
Dude, I fucking hate them. I'm so sick of seeing those bikes.
Yeah, like I mean, everybody's got one. It's me too. Oh, I got a street glide. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But, oh man, I like. We have a buddy. His name's Mike. I call him Panhead Mike because he just redid a '48 Panhead, but like restored it to original, and this thing's amazing, amazing. And he did a shovel head too. But I just love the old school stuff, man. It's just
It's got a soul.
yeah. It's like I mean now you hear about so many people having issues with all these Harleys, and you know I mean Harley's expensive. I mean even right now like what was it? I had to have for my Ironhead. They have a washer inside the clutch. It's a spacer. Harley sell it's like a 1 inch by 2 inch by an 1/8 inch thick washer, and Harley sells it for $17.
Holy shit.
Except for they do not carry them. They're no longer carried in stock because they don't carry anything like that. You know, and if it wasn't for these companies like Lowbrow or TC Brothers or you know, you you wouldn't be able to get a lot of the vintage parts or like eBay. So I went to Tractor Supply, spent 69 cents. My girlfriend marked it with a paint marker on how big we needed it, and I took a die grinder and I just worked my way around it. You know, she's more technical than I am. Like she won't let me screw around. Like she's really good. So I'll get like frustrated, and she's like, just walk away from it, you'll be fine. And I'm like, oh, it's like really like when I was doing the painting in the rattle can, I had 2 runs in the clear. It drove me nuts. I was stressing out. I messaged everybody that does painting, and they're like, oh, you gotta sand it with 1,000 grit.
Yeah, just send that shit out. You'll be good.
Yeah, another guy's like, oh, just do it with 2,000 grit. So I go to Lowe's because it's just eating me alive. So I go to Lowe's, I get the paper, and we're watching TV, and she goes, you okay? And I'm like, it's taking me everything right now to not go out and grab my, the tank and fender and fix them. And she's like, so I did it in the morning. She comes out, dining room table's got a towel on it. There's a bowl of water with the sandpaper soaking, and she just laughs at me. And then I go out and I cleared it. But the problem I had was I bought the Rust-Oleum Automotive Clear, and there was like 2 cans. That was it. You couldn't find any more. No Advance, no AutoZone. No one had it. So I had this. I went to Walmart, and they had a Rust-Oleum 2 times automotive grade clear. And I got that, and I figured, oh, okay, I'll keep going. And I fixed the runs, but I'm like, man, I feel like I gotta like touch up a little bit, because you get little spots. It's hard seeing when I don't have like super great lighting. And I'm sitting there, I'm trying to find cans, and I can't find cans. We go to Lowe's, we find 2 that are like it, but not like it. So I'm like stressing, and she's like, it's okay. She's like, we'll find it. Not a big deal. And I'm all like, yeah, okay, not a big deal. And I'm over here stressing. Like, because the bike means a lot to me. It was like what my dad rode when he rode with the club back in the day. And, which is insane. I mean, his was bored over. I mean, this one isn't bored over, but I don't think I want to have it bored over because I want my son to. It's going to be one of those bikes that you hand down to your kid,
Right.
So.
That's cool. How many kids you got?
With my girlfriend, we have 4 altogether.
Oh, you all got a Brady bunch, huh?
Yeah. She's got 3, and I got 5 altogether. I have a 21-year-old daughter because I started young. I have a 14-year-old, or he's got to be 14 the 24th, so he's 13 now. She has a 14-year-old daughter, an 11-year-old daughter, and then a 4.5-year-old son.
Oh shit, that's a hell of a gap.
Yeah, the 4.5-year-old, I took him Monday on my deluxe. He likes to ride in the backyard, and we have to get every bike out and ride it. He's autistic, and he's like, all right, let's ride on this one. Can I ride on this one? I'm like, all right. So I literally take him out on everything, and we'll ride around the backyard. So he's got his own helmet. He has his own mini chopper. Like, it has a long... I'll have to send you a picture. I'll have to run out and take a picture. But it literally has a Springer front end. It's got little wheels, and he wants to paint it. So I'm like, well, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it up. I was going to have it powder coated. My buddy's going to powder coat the frame and stuff so we can, save the forks and stuff and make them, clean them up besides just getting rid of the rust. But, yeah, we took him on the deluxe. I got his little helmet, his little gloves, he's got his boots, his jacket. So here I am, a big dude sitting on the bike, and he's just holding on the back. So we let Mama follow us. So he went 30 miles an hour. Although she says she don't think I even hit the speed limit. I wanted him to enjoy it. I didn't want him to freak out. So, but we told him if he wanted to stop, just to tap me, and I would stop. So you'd feel him he'd hold his hands, but he didn't have the as we started going down the road, like the death grip, like was gone. You know, he'd hold on, and he actually liked it. He was kind of quiet, but then he was like, all the girls at daycare, like, were all like, "Oh wow, look at you!" And so he got like the look, you know, the where he would be like all blushing and stuff.
He was hot shit that day, huh?
Oh my god, yeah. But he's got his own chopper. He's got his own little vest. We call him the Sons of No Nap Time. He literally, but he's all about it. He loves the bikes. He doesn't like the sounds, but he's learning to like the sounds. You know.
Yeah.
So.
So is he like he's sensitive to loud noises?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's like I could start it and he's fine, but you know, or he'll be on it and he's fine, but there's like when I started, we used to ride. I have a rider mower. I put him on there, and he just sits between my legs, and I mow. And at first, he started having to have headphones on. Now he falls asleep.
Oh.
So I'm literally holding his head with my knees to make sure he doesn't flop around. Because I don't know what it is with kids, man. Because you could literally put them in a car seat, and it looks like their neck is broken.
Oh yeah.
Fine, you know. Man, I'm 42. I sleep like that, and I'm waking up the next day. I'm like, honey, where's the heating pad?
Yeah.
Heads, you know.
Oh man, just looking at him sleeping like that makes my neck hurt.
Oh yeah. So I think I'm definitely gonna have to take a trip out to Vermont. Like we'll have to meet up sometime and like see if we can't go partial ways or something. Like hit a show together or something.
Well, I'm not in Vermont, man. I'm in Indiana.
Oh, Indiana. Wait, so I thought you said Vermont. That's why.
Yeah, no, there's for like titling bikes or in cars. There's it's called the Vermont loophole.
So you're whereabouts in Indiana?
Northern Indiana. Like I'm 15 minutes from Michigan, 15 minutes from Ohio.
How close are you to Fort Wayne?
An hour north.
That's where my sister lives.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, my brother-in-law is always trying to get me to like. He tried to buy my dad's bike. He's like, He's like, do you still have that original one? And I'm like, no. He's like, oh, I'd offer to buy it. And I'm like, yeah, I probably wouldn't sell it to you. Not no offense, but yeah, she lives in Fort Wayne. Like she's always like every holiday. She's the only sister that invites me to everything, and I never go because it's such a drive.
Yeah, if you're in New York, it's probably about 8 hours away.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make it though. We'll have to trailer stuff. That way you can kind of see stuff in person.
Well, how far away are you from Niagara Falls?
Oh, not far. Like maybe like 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
See, I'm about 6 hours from Niagara Falls, and I've been telling the old lady for I think 2 or 3 years now that I was going to take her to Niagara Falls on the bike for a trip, and hasn't happened yet. So, yeah.
Maybe we should plan it like a weekend or whatever, and kind of like I'll bring the black trailer. We'll bring some bikes, you know. That would be amazing, and you can actually get some photos with them, you know.
Hell yeah, that'd be sweet.
You could take the copper one for a ride if it's still here. That's ridiculous. Like I know I hype it up, but it is just insane.
No, it is. I was shocked when I saw it on you because I assumed, with the Iron Head bike and the swept up fishtails and shit like that you were definitely into the old school type stuff. And then I saw that and I was like, oh, it's like that's a newer motor.
Oh yeah. No, it's really insane. We went to a bike week. I went to Biketoberfest this past year, and the exhausts that they are putting out now are like they look like they're tied in a knot and like twisted and like coming out and everything. It is so amazing what these guys are doing. You know, just the exhaust is just insane. You know.
Yeah, there's a lot of artistic people out there. They're way more artistic than I am. Way smarter than I am.
If you could be that way, you just follow these guys and watch them and stuff. There's amazing stuff. Like I follow Clean Rock One on Instagram. He was on that Ink Master show. Mm-hmm. He did a bike that won. It was called Prom Night. He did it for a build, and I found out about Paint Huffer. Paint Huffer's like a metal flake company, and that stuff's amazing. You know, it's like you find out, and it's like I talked to the owner, and he's like, oh, how'd you hear about us? I'm like, dude, I was like watching Instagram. Clean Rock One was doing some of your paint, and he's like, oh yeah, we know him, and I'm like, dude, I'm amazed by it. Like, it's just like the flake is just insane. I think I still have some in my tattoo shop because I opened up the container in here, and it's everywhere. I tell you what, metal flake should be opened outdoors, away from like 700 yards from any place, because you open it, like my girlfriend one day like had it in her hair, I had it on my sweatpants. I'm like, I don't know where it's coming from. I was like, I have no idea. No idea whatsoever.
Oh, that's good shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, you tattooed too. How long you been doing that?
Since I was, probably like I was 25. So since I was 25, I guess I pierced and tattooed. I literally, I did it on and off, but probably more mainstream, doing a lot of stuff since I had my injury in the oil field. So just kind of relax and do the tattoo shop thing. I worked for a shop, and it was just kind of frustrating and boring, and had some issues. And I feel like every shop is different. You know, they all have their own vibe. And it's like when you work for somebody, you don't have your vibe there. Like, you're there, but not there. So my vibe is like, my shop is literally like burnt wood ceiling. You know, I took some flooring that had a little bit of moisture, made an accent wall. I had a set of longhorns above my door. You know, just I had a buddy that.
That sounds very New York.
It is not. Or Texas. More Texas-ish. I got an electric fireplace mounted to the wall below a 65-inch TV with a set of deer antlers above it. You know, just I have some random toys. I got like the old '80s Lion, like Thundercats. I have an original Optimus Prime over there. You know.
Is that where you're at right now in the tattoo shop?
Yeah.
So,
I got a bunch of baby Yodas. So yeah, it's fun. This is my little den. You know, my girlfriend's probably like my biggest fan when it comes to tattooing.
well, I saw some of your stuff on Instagram. It looks pretty good, man.
Yeah, I've done a bunch. I keep pushing myself. I have some friends that are pretty big names that I'm kind of learning from still, because you're always learning. No one's ever like super genius at anything.
Right.
There's new tips and tricks, and I like color. I feel like color is my thing. I don't like realism. I like kind of cartoony. Like, believe it or not, I think if I could tattoo it all the time now, Disney. I know that sounds funny, but my girlfriend, I'm doing a whole Disney leg on her, and she's got like the Hey Hey and Pua with the Heart of Graffiti and stuff, and the Wally, and just I like it, and it's cool because I get to just randomly do whatever I want, but it just as long as it's Disney. You know, she's pretty good with it.
Well, looking at the head tats and stuff, I wasn't expecting Disney.
Oh yeah. That's that, man. My buddy did that in Orlando, or in Daytona. I did actually the head all the way to the side of my neck in one shot.
Ooh.
The back of my head.
Ooh. How'd that feel?
Like shit. Well, he's a good dude. He's old school. He's fast too. Like, I think my head with my head tattoo is actually a memorial from my dad, and it's actually my shop logo. And I'll have to get your address and stuff and send you some stuff, man.
Oh yeah. You got the food truck too, right?
Oh yeah, yep. The barbecue sauce. I actually which I'm super stoked, is a friend has their best man in New York is a New York City chef, so he's going over to dinner tonight or tomorrow. So he's gonna test my sauce because they keep raving about it. So I'm super excited just to see what they think. But and I'm getting ready to send some to a guy out in California for him to try. So he's kind of a YouTube guy and like had like a really good hit song and everything. So he's gonna try my sauce and my rub and stuff.
So with your food truck, is it straight barbecue?
Yeah, it's Texas and Cajun food. Because you don't get a lot, but it's funny because I come up here a year and a half ago and I'm thinking, oh, there's not a lot in this area. Come to find out, there's like more than that, I think, but I literally me and my girlfriend would go to like order from every place. We'd DoorDash or something because I don't want to go in there. And I think we have a different product than everybody, Everybody does brisket, everybody does pork, everybody does chicken, but I don't think they do it my way, and I just feel like we put out a better product, like more flavor, I only use like one company for my meat, stuff like that. But I just think it's more personal. And I'm not going to have like, so I'll start on Sundays, but it's not going to be a menu that's like 10 pages long, It's like this week, pulled pork tacos, with fresh cut fries, fresh pico de gallo, homemade tortillas, That's the thing, You can't, like, there's a lot of Yankees. It's funny because they call them in Texas, like Yankees, that think you can make boudin. I'm sorry. Unless your grandma was Cajun and lives in Louisiana in the bayou, don't try to make boudin. Because you can't. You can't make it the way they make it in Louisiana. There's no way, no how that anybody can do that. I feel like there's some things that you shouldn't mess around with. It's terrible. I'm pretty bad when it comes to food. My girlfriend hates taking me places.
You're pretty picky or critic?
Oh, I don't know. I just feel like I went to Bike Week. They have a guy that does Cajun food and stuff, and he goes, "Let me know what you think." And he's like, "Be honest with me." I'm like, "Do you want to be honest?" And I'm pretty sure I made him cry when I got done. I was like, "Dude, this is terrible, terrible." It's like the worst thing I've ever ate. And it was like $60 I spent.
Ooh.
My girlfriend's like, "What are you gonna do with it?" I'm like, throw it away. I was like, I couldn't even give it away.
So did you used to live in Louisiana?
No, I was in the oil field for 11 years, and I literally traveled. I spent a lot of time in Texas and Louisiana, so I had to go offshore in the Gulf of Mexico. But I always cooked, on locations like Pennsylvania and stuff. I had like a little setup in the back of my truck. I'd be doing my job, and then when I'm waiting for fracking and stuff, I'd cook for the location. And everybody's like, "Oh, you need to get a food truck. You need to get a food truck." So lo and behold, met a dude. I was volunteering at church. Hooked me up with this guy, and I started buying this food truck. And this guy had it. He used to follow American Idol around, which was kind of cool. So it's pretty neat.
So when you get your truck set up, what are you going to do? Just like set outside factories or do like...
Like up here in New York, they have this thing called trucks on the tracks. So they all go like by these train tracks and set up. But I'm just going to do little events. I mean, I've done like catering for friends and stuff and family. But I just like to enjoy it. It's just me, the girlfriend, the kids, they're all like, "Oh, when are we going to do this?" But like there's my girlfriend knows it's certain ways like I like to post stuff. Like if I'm gonna give it to a customer, I want it the same way for everybody. I don't want to just slap some sauce on it. Heavy sauce. I want you to be able to taste the meat.
Right.
There's just certain ways I do things. Probably a little anal about.
Well, hell yeah, man, I like a good barbecue.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's so many here. It's not funny. So I'm actually more excited about. There's a. You ever have pho? It's like a Vietnamese soup.
Uh-uh.
Oh my gosh! Find a place by you. I suggest you go. But it's amazing. Like it's broth. It's it's insane. But there's like a bunch of those that just popped up here. I'm hooked on it.
Hmm. You have to ask your sister if they got one in Fort Wayne. I cruise down and check out.
Out by Fort Wayne, there's a barbecue place. I'm not sure the name of it. It's pretty amazing. Like barbecue.
Shigs and Pit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, yeah, that's a really good food, man. We went there and chowed down.
So yeah, you've been in this area before then.
Yeah, yeah, it's not that bad.
It's not that good either.
Yeah,
So, all right, man. Well, yeah, we hit we're looking at about an hour and 15 right now.
nice.
Yeah. So, you got anything you want to promote? Your the name of your food truck, name of your tattoo shop.
The tattoo shop just Tattoos by Hawk. The food truck is called Burly's. You can find it on Facebook. It's BURLY_S. It's got a cartoon picture of me and a pig. And then I would love to promote Angelo at Maltese Machine Company out of Buffalo. They're amazing. If you need fabrication work or looking for some one-off parts, man, this guy can build it. So you could think it. This guy can build it, man. Definitely.
Well, hell yeah, yeah. I'll look for your Facebook page and I'll link it in the show notes for this, and I'll link Angelo's Maltese Machine Company. I went ahead and found him on Instagram and followed him.
Did you see it though? Have you looked at all or no?
No, I just while we were talking, I found it and followed it. I didn't go through his pictures or anything.
So when you go through the pictures, you're gonna see one that's like super long and huge. That's the one I was telling you. That's like almost as tall as my girlfriend, and literally, it's a Sportster motor that's pushing it, which is crazy. So insane.
That one?
Yeah, yeah. Definitely check it out, man.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely, dude. Pleasure, man.
Yeah, I'll get you my address and you send me some sauce and some rub and you get me yours. I got a couple of stickers and stuff I'll send you.
We'll have to set up that Niagara Falls trip.
Hell yeah, man.
So, all right, man.
Good talking to you, bud.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye.